What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another Tottenham update. We've got Brian Daigle in the house with us today. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing very good, my brother. How are you?
Yeah, every time I call you my brother, everyone's in the comments saying, I didn't know you were brothers. Are you actually brothers? Maybe it's the hair. They're saying, maybe we look like brothers now.
Well, it's the Mitchells, isn't it? It's just depending who's Grant and who's Phil.
Yeah, exactly. But we've got quite a few headlines to talk about today. We're going to start off talking about a confirmed deal for Luka Vuskovic. Luka Vuskovic has joined Belgium Pro League club Westerlo on loan, and they've come out with some quotes saying, with Vuskovic's arrival, we emphasise our club's excellent functioning, which has previously proven to be an outstanding development platform for young talents. Together with our entire staff, we look forward to playing an important role in the further growth of his already promising career. So on the back of a really impressive loan spell out in the Polish league, he's going and taking a step up to the Belgian league. And I'm very excited to see how he does develop, because he looked like one of the best defenders in the Polish league at the ripe age of 16, 17. Now at 17, 18, he will be going to the Belgian league, and then this is, I think, his last season on loan before he officially joins Tottenham next summer. So it'll be interesting to see how this loan moves and if he comes straight into the first team, if he gets another loan after that. But what's your reaction to him going on loan to the Belgian league?
Do you know what? I've looked at this, and what's good to see from him, because like I said, he looked very, very good in Poland from the reports and what I've seen of him. And I would say the Polish is a very, very physical league. So he's obviously he's a fair unit himself, so he's learned the physicality of it, and he's been in a tough league. Well, now he's going to Belgium, which is a more cultured and more offensive-minded and fast-paced football. So he's learning different brands of football to add to his impressive resume already of his attributes that he's got. And you're right, he comes next season to us, and there's a lot of people saying, will he go straight back out on loan? I don't think he will. I think Spurs will want to keep on hold of him for at least till January, assess him, get him settled in London, see what he can do, and then make a decision on January if he goes out on a second half of the season loan. But we obviously knew he needed to go to another European team on loan to get the requirements to be able to get his visa, and whatever league he went to would have been a good education for him, and I hope he does exceptionally well in Belgium.
Yeah, coming up against Tottenham old centre-backs in Toby Alderweireld and Jan Vertonghen out in Belgium. That'll be nice to see. And also, he's going to be a teammate of former Tottenham player Nassr Chadli, who plays for Westerlo.
Oh, mate, do you know what? I missed Nassr Chadli. I loved him. I thought when we signed him, I didn't have a clue who he was. But I loved him at Tottenham. But yeah, obviously he's gonna. We have a very good success rate of anything Belgium, so let's hope his time in Belgium adds to that, because he does look a very, very promising defender, doesn't he? He looks like we have bagged a big prospect.
Yeah, you say we've got a good success rate of anything Belgium. Just don't mention Jonathan Blondell.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's push him to one side. And I don't know how you can say that name when you said Jan Vertonghen and Toby Alderweireld in the.
You said anything
before.
Belgian.
Yeah, all right, touche. But let's just say you and me have just covered one end of the spectrum to the complete other end. So yeah, let's hope he's more on the Jan Vertonghen Toby side than he is the Jonathan Bloody Blondell.
Let's talk about Sergio Reguilón now, as Court of Size say that Tottenham are willing to lose over £20 million in order to offload Sergio Reguilón. Reportedly, a fee of just 10 million will be enough to prize him away from Tottenham. This is 22 million less than his original fee into Spurs. I feel like we might even have to go lower than 10 million to get Reguilón out the door this summer. You saw last season, first half of the season, he went on loan to Manchester United. In and out of the team, not too many minutes, but I thought he did quite impress a little bit when he was on the pitch for Man United. But he really did impress in his second half when he went to Brentford, which it surprises me that there's not that much interest in him. The Athletic did an article yesterday saying there is just not much interest in him at all at this moment in time. But I do feel like as the window progresses, maybe towards the latter stage of the window, maybe interest will start to mount for him.
Yeah, I think exactly the same, Ben. I think nearer the end of the window, this will be kind of we need a player. We can't find our targets. Oh, Reguilon's available. Let's look at him. Seems to be a thing, like Christian Eriksen, ex-Spurs players or current go on loan to Brentford and have a good spell there. So well done to Brentford. But I look at this and say, well done, Tottenham. I will say well done, Tottenham, because now, not saying that everything's changed, but it does. Again, this is at the moment, it's all talk. Are we willing to do this? Are we? But if Spurs are willing to do this and take a hit on players that the current manager deems surplus to requirements, then it does look like Spurs are trying to go a different way. Whether this is Lange, whether this is Mum, whether this is McKenzie, whether this is Paratici, it looks like Spurs will take hits on players rather than sending them out on loan all the time until their contract runs out, then letting them go. So it's yet to be seen. But if this does turn out to be the case, well done, Tottenham. It seems like you are starting to wake up.
Yeah, you say it's yet to be seen, but we did, come up with a deal compensation package to release Tanguy Ndombele from his contract with a year remaining on it. So we are starting to go in that direction. So I'm very much pleased if that is the case, and that's the manner that we're going in for other players as well. Let's talk about Emerson Royale. Ben Jacobs says that Al-Nassr have entered the race to sign Emerson Royale. I mean, I don't buy this one at all. I feel like this is just a bit of posturing from Spurs to say AC Milan, hurry up, because we're going to put some names in the press to try and hurry you up.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be the go-to thing now. Just mention Saudi or the Saudi League and that, and it gets certain teams going, oh my God, we could lose him because of the money. I think Emerson has said he doesn't want to go there anyway, hasn't he? Because he has been rumoured there before. And I think, listen, that guy is clear to see has his heart set on one place and one place only.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. I think this is pure tactics from sources close to the club being told, listen, release this. I think there is absolutely nothing in this whatsoever.
Yeah, completely agree. And I do feel like something will happen sooner rather than later regarding Emerson to AC Milan. We heard yesterday on the update, we said that Emerson's already starting to plan for life in Milan, shopping around for all these kind of things. So I feel like this move will get done sooner rather than later. Did you see the clip of him returning to training saying the king is back, and him on social media as well? You got to admire the confidence, don't you?
Mate, if only his confidence transferred into quality. Then we would have like Cafu playing for us. Listen, he seems to be a wonderful character that people just love to be around. And I actually think if he does go to Italy, he'll star in Italy. I think he'll do incredibly well.
He's not a bad player
in Italy. No, he's just once again he's been another player. We're just talking about Reguilon. We've had Emerson, who was bought as a right back for Nuno, then played a different way for Conte. Then now asked a different way for Ange.
Yeah.
It's just not, there hasn't been a manager that plays the football that best suits his attributes, and Italian football, I think, is made for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, let's talk about Sebastian Szymanski. We brought you news yesterday that reports in Turkey was saying that a 25 million bid from Spurs is about to go in, and Fenerbahce were looking quite positively at that deal and were willing to accept it. However, Alistair Gold has said, I think he said last night, I asked a few people around him and nothing really came of that unless something is very quickly developed. So this could be one of two things. Either it's complete rubbish and there's nothing to it at all, or it could be, when you look at it, Johan Lang, we know the way he likes to operate. He likes to operate very much under the radar. He doesn't give too much away. We saw at Aston Villa sometimes deals would just come out of the blue and that the press had not picked up on at all. So could this be something that Spurs are just keeping very stum on, and the leaks are coming from the Turkish side, which we saw yesterday, and there actually is something to this? What do you think?
So I think this is, I've got a lot of friends back home that are Turkish and mad Fenerbahce fans. I mean, die-hard Fenerbahce. And they've said to me, listen, the Turkish sources are not reliable at all. They are like literally, they are, I don't, if you're doing a tier list, wink, wink to someone, they would definitely be in bad. And they say there's nothing in it. But like you said, Lange to me operates completely in the shadows. Like completely, like you said, you look at the deals that happened at Villa and no one had picked up on it. Not even the other clubs started releasing stuff. So I can't see anything in this.
Fair play. And to be honest, from what I did see from him at the Euros, nothing really impressed me too much to see him come through the door anyway, so I hope there's nothing in it, to be honest. Another player that we're going to talk about is Juan Garcia. El Demarque say that Tottenham are now ahead of Real Madrid in the race for signing goalkeeper Juan Garcia. Spurs want Garcia to provide cover and competition for Vicario next season. And I just don't see this one have any sort of relevance to what we're trying to do this summer. We have Brandon Austin, who's just signed a new 5-year deal at the club. We've still got Fraser Forster, who's got a year left. We've got Alfie Whiteman as well. So first of all, I don't see a space for him in the squad because he's not going to be homegrown. So that just takes up a needless space in the squad. And second of all, because we've got those 3 keepers here already, it just doesn't make sense. Nothing about this deal makes sense.
Well, I was going to mention Brandon Austin. You got there. You also forgot Josh Keeley.
Josh Keeley,
who is very, very promising. And I don't get this. We're all saying hold off for like we're waiting for transfers, get them done, whatever. The one position that we're pretty secure in right now is goalkeeping. Whether you deem Fraser Forster as good enough, whether he's going to get game time, obviously maybe the cup games or whatever, but why issue Brandon Austin a 5-year deal? As long as a 5-year deal. If it was a 1 or 2 year, you'd be like, okay, you could be looking elsewhere. But I don't even know anything about this goalkeeper. Not a thing. And I don't see why, when we've got actual concerns that we need to address for this season, why we're looking to bring in someone for next season already. I do not understand this one.
Yeah. I just think it's a nonsense story. I really do. And it kind of makes sense. Real Madrid are going to need a keeper. Maybe the keeper that they had that was filling in for them for the majority of last season could be on his way out. So I think it makes sense for someone like Real Madrid to be in the market for a backup keeper. Now, let's talk about Dele Alli. El Bobble, who is an Everton ITK, says that Dele, who has seen his contract come to an end at Everton this summer, has taken the opportunity offered by the club to join the first team for pre-season and to continue his rehabilitation at Finch Farm. Dele currently remains out of contract. Paddy Boland from The Athletic says that Dele is hoping to impress and earn a new Everton contract this summer. Under the terms of the previous deal with Tottenham, Everton would have to pay a significant payment to Spurs if Dele signs a new contract with Everton. We've seen Dele do all his pre-season work with various different trainers. He's working very hard with Premier League talents, and we've seen very recently him working on the training field with Dane Scarlett as well. But also, he does look to be back at Everton training with the first team. I'm a bit upset about that. I would have liked to have seen him train with Spurs and get Ange to have a closer look at him to see if he can do anything with him, but that doesn't seem to be the case. But what is the case is that he's at Everton, and if Everton do give him that contract, and Spurs could be in for a bumper payment. I think it's about 10 million, isn't it?
I think it's something along those lines. I mean, first of all, before we get into this, the most important thing that I've taken from all this stuff with Dele is, obviously, me being an advocate for mental health and suffering it for years myself, just to see him enjoying his football, having a smile on his face, and by the looks of it, enjoying life and living again, is the biggest plus in all of this. To hear that clubs are interested in him and want to offer him a chance of rehabilitation, it's wonderful to see. I remember you doing this on a live a few days ago or last week, and I was like, I don't want him to be signed at Tottenham. And it's not because of what's gone on with him. I just think he has not played first team football for a very, very long time. He has not. Yes, he can earn that contract, but he's going to be under a lot of scrutiny. And on the mental health aspect, I don't want it to be overwhelming for him and everything. I'd love to see him go to Everton or any club and really rejuvenate his career, and then look back at it and say, do you know what, maybe we missed on something, rather than put the risk on it and it turned out he's not the levels that he set. But like I said, the most important thing out of all of this is Dele Alli is enjoying life again, and it's wonderful to see. And him coming out and speaking like he did, huge respect for him. Huge respect for him. And yeah, I wish him well in everything he does.
Yeah, completely agree. I've got a lot of time for Dele Alli. Absolutely love the man. And I wasn't saying 100% bring him back. All I was saying is get him in for training so Ange can take a closer look at him and he can make that decision for himself. Last but not least, we're going to talk about this new potential sponsorship deal that Spurs look to be bringing in. Alistair Gold says that Spurs are in advanced talks to agree a match day shirt sleeve with a new partner that will dwarf the 10 million a year that they were getting from Cinch. It should be announced in the coming weeks. So some more money coming into the club, Brian.
Well, like we said, it's all good at coming in. Now let's see where it goes. I'm sure with all the tweets going around about this, there's going to be some comical who could it be, and let's hope it's not like WD-40 or something like that. But yeah, we should see. Listen, sleeve sponsorship deals have become massive, haven't they? They really have.
Everyone's got one, yeah.
Exactly, and if it's going to, as they said, eclipse and fast exceed the 10 million a year we're getting from Cinch, wonderful things to hear. Let's see who it is, and let's see that money get reinvested in the footballing aspect. But it's always good to hear that more money is coming into the club. That football stadium is an absolute money-making machine. Hopefully, we'll start seeing the fruits of its labour.
From your lips to Daniel Levy's ears, that's all I can say. But thank you, Brian, for joining me today. Do you want to let people know where, well, I think people know by now where they can find you, but if you don't know, let them know.
I thought you were going to say get to know that. So yeah, you can find me at Tottenham on Tour with all the other people that are there. We're having a week off this week. Certain things are going on, so we're taking it's our pre-season, it's our off-season, so we'll be back fit and firing next week. But you can find myself and the rest of the gang at Tottenham on Tour, and always, and I do mean always, when We Are Tottenham TV need me.
Yeah, thank you very much, Brian. And if you guys don't know, they did a really good interview with the Trust last week. So please go and check that out on Tottenham on Tour. But Brian, thank you very much. That is your Tottenham update for today. Let's hope England can do the business tonight against Netherlands and get to that final. It's coming home, people. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.
Come on you Spurs.